Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the introduction for my 2021 Panda palette for you guys. I'm very excited about this one. I think a few months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I put up a video to help you, no, not to help you, to help me, so you guys could help me decide which palette I was going to be working on. And you guys helped me decide. So I was going through all the comments, I think last week. I was kind of tallying all of them up, trying to see what you guys picked for me. And there was one combination that really stood out. Apart from that, there was another one that you guys were pretty excited about, which partly maybe was because I mentioned it was a preference of mine. But you guys came up with a really good idea that I haven't thought about yet, which is gonna be my Panda palette this year. So maybe you've already guessed it, maybe you haven't, but my Panda palette for this year is gonna be two palettes. It's gonna be the LA Colors Lush palette and the Bourjois trio. So in addition to that, just to keep this going, like I always want to finish my palettes off, so also this year I'm gonna keep working on the Too Faced Enchanted Glamourland. I think this is year number 4. I think we might be year number 4 of panning this palette. Last year was the other LA Colors palette, the year before was the Too Faced Glamour to Go, the year before that. 3 years ago I started panning this palette. I'm still working on the very last shade, so we're still gonna keep working on that. And of course, just to quickly remind you guys, that is the silver shade that I've repressed. It is Too Faced Glamour to Go palette. I have it in here still right now, but as we've already discussed, I might very likely be repressing that into like possibly my Lancome palette, which has the black in it, because that's gonna last for a good little part of this year as well. So probably gonna repress what is left of that silver in there, so I don't have like an additional palette when that's not necessary, because I've got room in that other one. Okay, so that's the silver, and I've got some close-ups throughout me talking about the colors in here to give you guys an idea about what the color story is gonna be. So first of all, let's look at the LA Colors. Just gonna go through shade by shade. I'm just gonna take the little brush thingy out. So the white shade is a bit crumbly already, which is a bit annoying, but not much I can do about that. So let's start with the purple. Of course, I've been panning a purple already in my Panda palette last year, so I feel like this one is similar enough, just a little bit lighter and brighter than the other one. So I've been using the other purple in my crease a lot or on my lids. I know that I can do that with this one as well. Then we have the blue shade, and this is the one I'm most scared about. So if you guys have any ideas on how you normally use a blue shade like this, do let me know. It's just a shade that I'm, I think, least familiar with, like using on my eyes. I've got blue eyes, so probably because of that, and the cooler tones are a bit less my thing. The blue is something I just don't gravitate towards as much. And then a green. Throughout 2020 I became very familiar with green, so I don't think I will have much of an issue with this one per se. It's kind of a mid-tone green. It's not like extremely dark, it's not light either, so that could work in multiple ways. A yellow, also a very easy shade for me, like that can work as a transition shade quite easily. I can put it on my lid. Different ways of using it. There was a yellow in my Panda palette last year as well, which probably was pretty similar to this one too, so no problem with that one. Then the white is probably gonna be like one of the harder shades as well in here. Like, of course I can put this in my inner corner, but I probably don't want to just use a shade in my inner corner all year. I kind of want to try and see what other ways I could use this. From what I can see, it's just pretty cool toned and like very white. I know my face is pretty much white already, but when I put it next to this white, my face actually has some color. So probably for my brow bone it's too light and too like shimmery out there for my liking, so I'm gonna have to see how I can play around with that one. But yeah, those are the 5 shades in here. And then as an easy company accompanying palette to that. I'm going to be working on my Bourjois Smoky Trio in Nude Ingenu. That's French, I hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. So I've got 3 shades in here, and they're all like very neutral shades. We've got one that will work perfectly for my brow bone, inner corner, lid shade, anything. So this one will be pretty easy for me to get through, I'd say. This one probably like more of a transition shade as well. Just like a mid-tone brown. Easy enough, not much to say about that one. And then lastly we've got like a darker brown. It's not like a black, it's definitely like a dark brown. It's not that dark, but this will be probably like an outer corner type shade. Maybe something I try a little bit more over my lid in my crease, just to play around with it a little bit. But yeah, that is it. So those are the shades that I will be working on this year. I'm pretty excited. I feel like it's not too much, and because I used most of the other stuff off from the last years except for that silver, I feel like this should be doable to kind of incorporate with my Pando's eyeshadows. Like still make some nice progress on this and definitely be able to finish this off by the end of the year, I hope. And being able to play around with my Pando's eyeshadows, or some eyeshadows that roll into random other projects. Maybe the single that I want to work on this year as well. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see how I'm going to incorporate some of these shades, like especially that blue. I'm going to need to play around with that a little bit. I'm sure we'll figure something out. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye.